Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and you guys, I am so excited. The packaging won me over on this so hard, I can't even. This is the new BH Cosmetics Festival palette, Weekend Festival palette, and I saw the unicarton and I was like, oh my god, stunning, but like the regular thing, it's probably gonna be ugly. Oh no, they match. You guys, this packaging is stunning. It has like a slight, like tiny little raised detail. But oh my god, like that, I don't know what it is about this, but it's so vibrant and just beautiful, and it makes me think of summer and all things happy. And then you open it up. It does have a little mirror. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like the biggest mirror in the world, but it folds all the way back, and then look at these 20 shadows. I mean, come on. They are so vibrant. It's a very nice mixture of mattes and shimmers, super intense, very bold, and you guys, they swatch beautifully. Like this palette, I believe it retailed for $18. And I also have, by the way, the brush set right here, same packaging, and this retails for $24, and you get 10 brushes. And again, yes, the palette was $18. So I kind of wanted to play around with it today. BH Cosmetics is one of those brands for me that's a little hit and miss. I've tried some things and I was like, wow, this is really good. I've tried other things and I'm kind of like, eh. But for the most part, I think that they do a really nice job at putting out relatively affordable products. When I saw that this palette was $18, I was kind of like, because you know, like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's kind of pricey because it is BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to pull up some of their other palettes just to kind of like check the price point. Okay, so for example, the It's My Ray Ray collab that had 21 eyeshadows and a contour and a highlight palette. That was $22.50, which is only a couple more dollars than this palette. The Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition palette, which was like the biggest palette of all time, well, it's currently on sale for $16.88, but that's also normally $22.50. So I feel like this is a couple dollars more. It looks like their Galaxy Baked eyeshadow palette was $16. Their Solar Flare was $16. Their Supernova was $16. You know what I mean? I feel like for the most part, this is like a couple dollars more than what I expected, but it's also stunning. So I'm not complaining about it, but just as far as like their standard pricing goes, it is a little bit up there in price. Now the brush kit, you guys, this is kind of like, I'm shook. So if you open, or if you flip it over, my god, it does show you all the brushes that you're getting on the back. And so just to give you guys an idea, I picked mine up from Ulta, which also has a picture of these on the website, so you kind of see what you're getting. But this is the collection that you get. It does kind of tell you what to use them for if that's something that you need. I'm a big believer that brushes are whatever you decide they are. And when I was perusing this collection last night, I of course put it back together so you guys could see how it came in the package. Comes in this, and then these are the brushes. Now I was actually really impressed with BH Cosmetics on this because these brushes are all individually wrapped in like this really nice, like smooth paper to keep them all protected, make sure the bristles don't fray out and go all psychotic. And then if you pull them out, this handle, oh my god, this handle feels so good. Oh, what's that? It's like that, it's like soft touch, not velvet, but like, you know what I mean? It's soft touch. Oh, that feels fabulous. And they feel very nice in the hand. The handles aren't like too thin. They're not too weird. And as far as BH cosmetic brushes normally go, I'm a big fan. I don't think I've had any of them so far that I was like, oh, that was a huge waste of my money. Like, for the most part, the quality is pretty good with these brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to take all of these out of the packages. Based on this palette, you guys, I have every intention of doing like a super fun eye look. Like, I know that lately on my channel, the looks have been a little bit less wearable, but I feel like that's okay because we're going into like that Coachella vibe. By the way, this palette, they call it Festival probably because Coachella's trademarked, but it's a Coachella palette. Like, there's, what else are you going to say? But I feel like we're going into that season, and we're also going into a time where like people are wanting to have a little bit more fun with their eye looks. Like, yes, it's fun for every day to have a good bronze eye, a good orangey eye, a good smoke eye, whatever. But it's also fun to go around and have like super just fun. And I love these, like, look at how vibrant those are. Those are beautiful and they feel so satisfying. Like, they feel good. Okay, so we have these out. We have the palette. Let's go ahead and do the close-up so you guys can take a look at the swatches. Of course, we're going to run through those, and then we're going to go from there. Almost just burped really loud. But I didn't, so I win. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw some bake under my eyes, zoom you guys in, and go through some swatches. So first up, we have Trixie, Candy with a K, Ultimate, Carnival, Escape, Hippie, Dippy, Wicked, Magical, Boho, Swag, Flash, Spirit, Solstice, Electric, Trance, Palooza, Neon, Euphoria. Then this brown one on the elbow that is crooked is the shade Hipster. So that is the entire palette. Hello color, you guys. Oh my god. So as far as this palette goes, I have already primed and prepped my eyes, by the way. I am so drawn to these, like this purple right here, and then this orange and pink combo. I got so excited. But that color right there, and then this blue. Like, the colors in this palette, you guys, they swatch so beautiful, and I am just so attracted to the way that they look together that I'm kind of just like I don't know where to start. I think I want to start with like some hot pink in the crease, maybe blend out into, like, blow it out into some orange going up into the brow bone. So I think that's where we're gonna start. I am gonna start off again with this blender brush. This is the number 6 that came in the kit. We're gonna see if I can make this work for the kit without having to like switch out into any other brushes. I will say what I think I might like about this is because it is like longer. I normally, when it's a crease brush, I like them shorter and fluffier. I like them more short and stout because then they blend, they fan out a little bit better for my eye. But what's cool about this one is that it will be a lot easier to get in this area and in my inner eye, which kind of makes me think I should do like a halo eye. But I've been doing a lot of halo eyes, so I don't know. Do I do another one? Do I not do another one? I don't know. Maybe a cut crease, maybe glitter. There's just so much. Like, this palette you could do so much with. But let's start with the shade Dippy, which is the hot pink shade. Tap off a little bit. And we're going to start by working that into the crease. Oh, wow. You guys, there was like, I went in so light with pigment, and still look at that pigment. These are very rich colors. Like, they swatched very rich. You know how, like, you'll eat a cheap chocolate and you're like, oh, I can taste that that's cheap chocolate. And then other times you'll go in and you're like, oh, I can tell that that's like some Ghirardelli shit right there. That's what these are coming off as. They're coming off very rich. Like, oh my god. You know what I just realized? I literally just did a frickin' like super intense glittery eye, like, just on my channel, and now you guys are gonna get another one. Oops. But you know what, honestly, like, I'm not mad about it, because I really want you guys to be more comfortable, like, playing with color, because honestly, I have found so much fun in playing with color. Look how well that blended out. Oh my gosh. I am gonna go in now with the shade Hippie, and it's that orange shade that was right next to this hot pink, and I want to start kind of working this up into just like this upper area and blending it into like this, just this up area. Like, imagine your crease was suddenly 1/4 of an inch higher. That's where I want this orange to go. I just really want to blow that out a little bit. I don't know why I didn't go in with the orange first, because normally that's what I would do, but hey, whatever. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Hopefully. Like, do you see the nice, beautiful... Can I get you closer, maybe? Okay, well, we'll try this and see if it can stay in focus, camera. So I love that color. I love the way that the hot pink melds into that orange. It's a very natural, well, natural, but it's a very nice subtle transition and blend. So I think now I want to go into the shade Swag. It is a purple shade, and I want to kind of start concentrating them now lower into the crease and just kind of placing them and lightly dragging them over. This is still obviously all with the same brush, which I'm liking that about this brush, because it's like, it's very soft. It really does manipulate very well through the crease, which I have, again, I've said this 1,000 times, I have super textured lids, so for me, that is a big deal. And it hasn't, like, these shadows haven't skipped at all. The brush hasn't skipped. Everything is just blending really beautifully. How big are these pan sizes? So these are 0.0385. 0.0385. So, I mean, that's not a bad pan size either, especially for how little you need to really get your color to spread. Like, Dang, that's beautiful. I know how blown out that looks right now, but that's okay because we're going to go in with some concealer. Now, I'm very excited about this part. Which brush do I want to use for this? Okay, so there's really only one flat brush in here. It's the number 5, and it's flat in this sense, but it's not very thin, which, me, but a lot of times that can make it difficult to do like a good cut crease. So we'll try it. We'll see kind of how it goes. I have a feeling though this is more for like a packer brush for all the different, like, you know, the shimmery pigments in this palette. It's not really for cutting. It also does come with this perfect little teeny tiny pencil-y brush. This is the number 10. So this would be really good for kind of going in and like going to like get the line you're looking for if you're going in for any very specific detail work. A lot of times when people want to do a super like intense blown out eye, as far as like beautiful colors and stuff like that, they will want very precise placement. So this could be very handy if that is you. I'm gonna go in with, you know what, let's just use the Catrice because this is what's right on top. This is my Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer, and we're going to go in with the number 10 brush, and I think I'm just going to try and kind of like carve out the overall like line that I'm going for, and then I'll go in with the other brush, that flat, oh my god, flat paddle brush, the number 4, and I'll fill it in, and then from there I have no idea what we're going to do, but it's going to be something exciting. That's all I know so far. Excitement is near, guys. It's near. Alright guys, this is where all the decisions come in because there are so many gorgeous options. I kind of love the idea of doing like the bright blues in the center and kind of fading them out, because if you'll notice they actually give you this beautiful turquoise shade up here as a shimmer, but then they also give you a very similar shade down here as a matte shade. So I thought it would look really beautiful to kind of work those in. And then on the outer view, we could transition out into this brown, because I think that if you transition them correctly, that if you went like, say, a little bit of this on the inner corner to this, and then some other shade, like maybe this purple shade, and then out into this on the outer V to kind of smoke it all out. It's a lot of color, but I think if done right, I think it could look beautiful. So I'm going to try to be the person that does it right, and we'll just see, you know, is it a catastrophe? Is it not a catastrophe? We shall see. I'm going to go in with the number 8 brush. It's a little bit domed, but it has a good like pack feel to it. And I want to take this brush. I'm going to dip into the shade Spirit, which is like the lighter white shade. And I want to start just by kind of packing this into this inner area right in here. Because I have concealer down that I just used to cut my crease, I have a feeling this isn't going to stand out as well, because I think I would have needed a much lighter base. See, I think that it looks okay, but I don't think that it's standing out that well against my concealer. So let's go into the shade Ultimate, which is that, oh my god, same brush that I'm taking it on here. And this is the turquoise shimmer shade. Oh my lord. That's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so same brush. I'm just kind of wiping it off on my hand. Now I want to go in with the matte version of that turquoise shade, Palooza. I just want to place that kind of next to this a little bit as a good little transition. And if you'll notice, whenever I work with colors like this and I'm blending them into each other, I always place them in an overlapping manner. So even if it's just like a little tiny, like 1/8 of an inch, I always overlap them just a little bit. And then kind of keep blending them out, because I feel like that gives me a really nice blend. Same brush, I just kind of wiped it off on my hand. This is still the number 8 brush. I want to go in and go in with the shade Swag, which is that purple shade that we initially worked into that outer V right there. And I'm just going to keep kind of piling it on. Alright guys, same brush. We are now going to go in. It's still the number 8 brush. I want to go in with the shade Hipster. It is that dark brown, the darkest shade that they have in the palette. And I want to take and kind of start working that one right here onto the very outer part of the eye. So this is kind of where we're at right now. I should have went in with the shade Trance. It's that bright blue metallic. You know what? Let's do that. Same brush. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of Fix Plus because now it has a lot of work to try and go over top of. So I put a little bit of Fix Plus on there. I'm going to go into that really beautiful like royal blue shade. Oh my God. Oh my God. You, sir, are stunning. Going to go in with a little bit of the shade Ultimate, that lighter turquoise shimmer, and just kind of rebuild this whole area right here. These shadows, you guys, for me to be able to go in there, do a whole eye worth of color, and then go over it with more color, and still have it show up this vibrant, that is very impressive. That speaks very highly for these shadows. You know what would actually look really pretty? Where that white is, if I went over that with yellow, that really bright, vibrant yellow, the Euphoria shade. Look at me, I'm just like redoing my whole eye. Hope you guys don't mind. But seriously, you know, I get asked a lot, like, Paige, how do you pick the colors, or how do you pick the whatever? And you guys, honestly, the best advice I can give you is that if you don't like it, try something else. Because literally, look how gorgeous. And I don't want the yellow to be, like, super saturated. I just want it to be, like, a nice kind of transition, like, wash of yellow right there. Because my skin doesn't carry yellow very well. So I can never have a lot of it, but just like a little bit. That is so transitioned, it actually looks like a watercolor. That is so gorgeous. And I know you guys are probably sick of it, but I really want to go in with that glitter, that silver glitter liner. Is that bad? Does that make me like a bad person? Oh, do you know what would, oh my God, I had a vision of sex appeal. Oh my God. Okay, so this is, yet again, this is the Glam Rock from Urban Decay, the heavy metal. You could also use Diamond Dust in the Stila glitters if you would rather work with those, or if that's what you have, that's fine too. Any kind of glitter like this. MAC also has a bunch of silvery pigment stuff. Whatever you have is fine. So obviously I've used this as like a liner, but how pretty would it be if it did like, oh my gosh, either, I can't decide if I want it to go up and like kind of go up into the brow bone and like kind of flex some glitter up in that area. Oh, because it would look kind of like a shooting star. Okay, I'm just going to do this part, speed it up, and you guys can see what I'm saying because I'm not making any sense. When I get excited and there's glitter involved, there is no sense to be had. Wow, that looks really pretty. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. Pray that I don't ruin it. Okay, let's go. Gosh, you guys, I kind of took a little like whoop and like wing just a tiny bit out, but look at, and then when I relax my eyes, that's my favorite part because all the glitter stays. You guys, I'm obsessed with this. Literally, it looks like a princess. Now, I have seen some people, I've seen this done a couple of different ways. When you go in with like that much glitter, if some people really like a really nice crisp defined line for the glitter to kind of sit on. And if you want that, you can go in and like trace underneath of it with a darker color or even a liner. If that's your aesthetic, that's fine. Instead of doing that, I wanted it to be a little bit softer. So I just went in and built that glitter up closer to the base. So that way you can see that there's a line there that it's kind of following, but it doesn't look super stark and like harsh right there, which is good. And it's better for people like me that don't have as much talent because we don't always have straight lines. Like it's kind of a thing. But that looks really pretty. And it really just kind of feathered nicely out into that, the upper crease right there. Like that looks really pretty. I am really impressed with myself. Now I was trying to decide like, what do I want to do right here? Do I want to do anything right here? And you know what? I honestly think I'm just going to take a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a little bit, of that brown shade, which I used to have a brush. go in with the number 7, and I'm going to go into that dark brain shade, the dark brain shade. Okay, or the dark brown shade, the hipster shade, on that number 7 brush, and I'm just going to really lightly kind of dab it right here, and just to kind of complete that fade and kind of pull, instead of sweeping harshly, I'm kind of patting and pulling it up toward the bottom part of that glitter to just kind of follow that line naturally without a bunch of structure. That's really pretty. So needless to say, I am going to run off of camera and do the rest of my face, and I'll come back on. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this palette, but good lord did that take a minute. So anyways, and I think too, if you're like looking at it like, bitch, what the hell did you do? I'm really excited about this. I think like mascara and liner and all that, I really think it's going to pull it together. So let me jump off camera. Wow, like nothing. Hello mariachi band. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go finish up my crown of sparkles. Alright guys, so I got everything finished up. Anytime I come on camera with this much of makeup, like this much of an eye on, I'm always like, oh god. So first off, let me start off with the lips. I put on Candy Paint, which is one of their Matte X formulas, and then I threw a little bit of the Urban Decay High Shine over top of that in the shade Back Talk, just for like a little bit of gloss. Probably not the best texture. Should have went with a Buxom gloss, but that's fine, whatever. Neither here nor there. Let me kind of zoom you guys in because I do have a couple thoughts. Okay, so I would definitely say that this eye turned out better than the other eye. And I say that because I feel like obviously going into this one, I knew more what I was doing. But what I learned about these shadows, by the way, is that not stunning? Like, I'm obsessed. I did go in with some double wispies today just because I really felt like the look could definitely carry it a little bit. But I really, I'm very busy admiring myself. I really love the way that these blended out. And there was a big difference. Oh, here, I could probably zoom you out. I'm so conceited. Back to what I was saying. I think that on this eye, the first eye I did on camera, I had a lot more fallout. It was mainly with the blue shades, the blue shimmer shades. But I think that that was just because I went in and I built them up and I tried them so many different ways. On this side, honestly, it was much more of a packing, pressing technique. And they were wetter from like closer to the beginning, and there was literally no fallout on this side. So fallout, in my opinion, whether it be with the mattes or the shimmers, are not a huge issue as long as you manipulate them correctly. As far as that goes, pigmentation, definitely there. Everything blended beautifully. Honestly, you guys, I am smitten with this palette, and the one thing that I was curious about, which, oh my god, why I didn't do this off of camera, I will never know. But I was looking at this palette and I was like, what does that remind me of? It reminds me of the Natasha Denona, what is this? The Tropic palette. And I know you're probably like, Paige, stop it, you're on one. But I think it's because, okay, like this cobalt blue, that like deep beautiful blue, this beautiful like shimmery turquoise, that beautiful shimmery turquoise. You know what I mean? Like it's got the same, don't get me wrong, they're not the same, but I feel like the overall hue for a lot of these is very similar. And actually the Natasha Denona palette isn't like the best that I've ever tried. I had a little bit easier of a time manipulating the BH Cosmetics ones than I did the Natasha Denona. So I am going to do like a full video on this and talk about palettes and I think something like that. So I can give you more of my thoughts on that now that I've used it for a while. But I just wanted to come on here and show you guys this one and that Violet Voss Rainbow palette. It's really reminding me of this like similar kind of vibe. So I wanted to throw that out there if you were like loving this color like scheme, or there was something about this one you were really drawn to, but it's $129. Then there's this guy for like what, 18. So again, it's obviously different. Pan sizes are different. The company is different. The ingredient, everything is different. Okay, I get that, but like similar color scheme, a lot like fraction of the price. So as far as the palette goes, I really enjoyed working with it. I worked with a ton of colors out of it. I ran them a little bit on the lower lash line, upper. I mean, overall, you guys, I have no complaints for this. If you're looking for like a fun, really vibrancy packed kind of palette, I would definitely recommend this in a heartbeat. I think it's just really good. And the brushes, I have to say the same thing. I used every single brush. I think every single brush, or almost. In my opinion, the set's really worth it. You get 10 brushes for $24, so $2.40 a brush. that's pretty good. So if you are, and if you love like the look and aesthetic of these, which I think they look beautiful as a set. I love that black on hot pink right there. I love that soft touch feel to the handle. They're weighted very nicely, like they hold very well. They don't feel awkward when you hold them, not too long, not too short. Overall, they're just a really good, affordable brush. I like them a lot. And that's it, you guys. I love that they put so much thought and detail into this collection. I love that they gave you such a good color range. And I think that they did a great job arranging this palette in a way that they give you all the different, like the little pops of color that really offset an eye look. You know, they didn't just give you like one orange. They gave you an orange, a lighter muted orange. They gave you a purple, a hot pink, you know, they really went through and kind of developed a beautiful color story that a ton of people, like as far as different aesthetics, can be comfortable with, as well as different skin tones and undertones, which I really, really appreciate. I think a lot of these colors would pop and look beautiful on a ton of different skin tones. You guys, that is it. Those are my final thoughts. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and if you did, please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below, because hello, why wouldn't you? I mean, I look pretty drag, and I'm kind of excited about it. So please don't forget to do that. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I will see you in the next one. I'm looking all kinds of Coachella-rific. I don't know if that's even what people look like at Coachella, but like if it is, dang.